Hi guys, this is part 3 of our interview with icon speaker Jairus Ferrer. No? The first video we talked about his life, his story. Then the second video we talked about agriculture, farming, the growth part of all of it. And now, just to give you a preview, his business is also connected to farming, but how he integrated technology to make it happen. So I won't take long. I won't take long to make this introduction because you all know him already. So Jairus Ferrer, Ferrer, yeah. So now, Ferrer,
right.
Yeah. How did you go about this part of your journey when it comes to technology? Because farming in itself, is very, very far. People think about farming as something that's very, very traditional, and it's not, I guess, very tech savvy. So why this part?
Okay, so during the journey of getting to where it is today, I noticed that things were done very manually. Okay, taking orders was done very manually, looking for clients was very manual, and farming in itself is already a manual work, right? There's a lot of manual labor involved, but there has to be an infused way through technology to make things faster and more efficient, especially when it comes to the selling part. In farming, there's also a lot of selling.
So you're talking about people who are producing the crops and selling it to end users?
Yes, end users. And
okay.
Again, the farming industry is very diverse. It's either you're growing a crop for a certain mill, or you're growing a crop for a fixed buyer. But there's also an industry within the farming industry where micro farms are delivering to small and local businesses, right? So again, we have to choose now who to serve first. All right.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like to share about what iFarms is. iFarms is a startup blockchain. Okay. It's a blockchain agro-tech company where we are driving technology and developing technology solutions for many parts of our country.
All right.
Okay.
So before that, I believe blockchain is the future. But for those who don't know, but what blockchain is, what's your take? What is it essentially?
Basically, blockchain is a transparent and secure system where business to business can actually transact digitally. At the same time, there's a way to actually secure the information based on the agreements that you came upon. Yeah.
And it's as compared to other forms, other databases, it's not a centralized system where
it's a decentralized system.
It's a decentralized system where everyone can update it and it gets seen everywhere. That's what he was talking about.
Yes.
Transparency. So this basically will be something that's done online through an app and through a platform.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the platform. So basically, again, iFarms is a startup business on developing agriculture technology solutions, and we are working with local producers to actually solve the problem of like, how do we get it consistently with good quality, but at the same time veered towards making producers actually earn what they are, what they deserve. So coming up with such solutions factors in a lot of people within the value chain. So we're talking to a lot of people within the value chain and coming up with that solid single solution which has a wide scale effect on a lot of people.
So for those who don't know, or at least have no idea about what it is, you're connecting people who produce and people who need the crops as well.
Yes. So iFarms is actually, we are veering more towards solutions for producers. Because what's happening now is it's always market driven, right? But in the food industry, and especially when you start to talk to chefs, they actually would depend on producers. Okay. So the basic concept is, what do I have? Who's gonna buy it?
Okay.
Okay. But the back end of it is actually through the blockchain technology.
Do you see yourself more like an agriculture company or a tech company already?
Actually both. But we're starting first with the technology only because we saw that there's a big need for such things.
So a lot of tech companies would either be bootstrap or they get outside funding. How will you do yours naman?
Oh, okay. So we're in the process now of actually talking to a few investors. Again, it's still a startup and we're hoping to come up with major solutions. And I would encourage more people to actually come into it. There's no there's no limit of what you can actually do, especially in the agriculture industry. All people need to eat. So we need more energy, young energy in the field. We need more young minds coming up with solutions to actually solve problems and all of these things.
Is it hard to get funding, or when you're making something technology related, do you need to spend a lot of money, and you also need to get a lot of funds as well to be able to develop the platform needed?
The funding part is a continuous challenge for any business. Okay, the access to funds is also, but I think you have to just have a very clear plan of what you want to do, how you're going to execute it, and how is it going to affect many people's lives.
Okay.
So, and I think investors are looking for that simple solution, yet, high impact.
Okay, but in terms of making the technology, when you try to develop it yourself, you did the flow, you did the process for it.
Yeah. The technology side, we get technology partners for it, right?
Okay.
We have a very, very good solid back end, which we're developing now, and it's taking a while only because it has to make business sense also. But it's understanding the process of the industry that you want to serve. And in my story, Marv, we went through it. I personally went through it for the past 10 years. Like really serving from planting something in the field, harvesting it, and then of course learning the logistics side of things. There's a lot of factors involved. So the nice thing about doing things yourself first is you can actually learn along the way. Okay? And I told my business partner nga before, Marv, before tayo mag-hire ng driver, dapat tayo muna mag-drive. Because I believe kasi na...
Very dodong kakanandola.
No, because I also saw the value in it. Before mo siya pwede utos, dapat ikaw mismo nakakaintindi because you now develop empathy.
Okay.
You also develop like compassion, towards the people that are working with you. I don't want to say for me, but with you, kasi they're helping you.
What's the biggest struggle with what you're doing right now? What's I guess the hardest part of a startup business?
A committed team.
Okay.
That's the a committed team and people who actually believe the vision.
How large is your startup company right now?
All right, so we are a team of 3.
Okay.
The tech group, the legal group, and myself. And we're looking for more interns to actually do other aspects of the business. But we're excited to grow it, especially we're looking for people from the provinces, especially sa mga areas of different regions na high possibilities for agriculture development. So we're looking for these people.
What do you think is the upside in terms of, I talked about growth opportunities in agriculture and how there's so much that can be done in the Philippines. What do you see in terms of tech naman? How the fusion of tech and agri can be, I guess, fused into something? What are other growth areas that hasn't been explored yet?
There's a lot of growth areas. It's actually getting capitalization to the grassroots, and on a traditional way of going through the bank, and you need to have certain records and all of that, right? And we're lucky enough that the Department of Agriculture has certain programs now to actually get funding for your farms. But there's still a big gap between the infrastructure and the services around the industry. So the one part is the planting part, the other part is the added value services to actually make it into a final product.
Okay,
so that
what are the added values? Like what? Like
post-processing, harvest facilities,
okay.
Water supply, that's one.
So this is particularly, are you talking about rice?
Not just rice.
When you were talking about it, parang rice kagad pumasok sa isip
No,
mo.
not just rice, because every crop needs water.
Okay.
Everything in the world needs water, right? Especially plants. So that industry alone has to be heavily developed. In Bali, I recently went to Bali, and the water system there is actually heavily funded by the government,
okay.
and it's given to people for free.
For free pa?
For free, because they believe kasi that it's a gift from nature, and people should receive the gift from nature for free. But they manage it according to their association.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So now, we've talked about starting the business. We've talked about connecting it to the farming industry, no? Any tips from you starting everything from scratch and conceiving this vision? Any tips to those aspiring naman to go into tech-related business, especially at a young age, no? I don't know about you, but if you're in your 20s, do you think it's parang people who are older than you, it's hard to pitch to people who are older? Parang, ba't ako makikinig dyan? Mas bata pa sa akin yan, gano'n. Did you ever experience that?
Well, that's a nice thing about doing things manually yourself first, because when it comes to the time of, I didn't expect this to happen in my life, by the way, but the opportunities came along as I did things myself. Kasi you learn and you see the opportunities firsthand. And when they start to ask questions, how did you go about this? They ask details of how did you come about the solution? And you say, this is because this is what I did, and this is the market gap. So now you have credibility now and saying, ginawa ko muna eh. I experienced it myself eh. And the first customer of your product should actually be yourself.
Okay.
Because you were the victim of something before eh. So I'm creating something now that I was looking for before. Okay, so since wala akong mahanap, ako gagawa.
Okay. Interesting. Now, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, then just answer parang from the top of your head lang. Cryptocurrencies, which do you think is parang the best coin out there?
The popular one is Bitcoin, but
okay,
there's a local one from the Philippines which should actually, it's from Traction Group. You should actually watch out for that. They're on pre-sales now? What do you call it? Pre-ICO.
Yeah.
So watch out for that. I believe in the system. The technology is there, and we are at the infancy stage. So that's the future.
Alright, so that's it for now. You can catch Jairus Ferrer at Icon 2018. The link will be below on how you can hear his story and how he actually moved also from where he is to a budding entrepreneur who is gonna take the agriculture and technology industry by storm. So I guess that's it for now. So see you guys soon, and see you all on May 26, 2018. Bye.
See you.